everyone, it's Michelle Caruana from Play Cafe Academy and Profitable Play. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about getting ready for opening day. I know, very exciting. And the reason that I wanted to create this video is that, my signature course, Play Cafe Academy, it covers all the logistics you need to get ready for opening day, right? Everything you need on the business side. So there's actually an entire module on this. So how to choose an opening date, how to put together a pre-launch marketing plan, how to pre-book parties and memberships so you already have sales well ahead of your opening day, how to handle crises that happen during your opening day or during your soft launch, how to do a soft launch, how to train your team and have them absolutely confident and ready to serve your customers to the best of their ability. I cover all of this in Play Cafe Academy, but something that I talk about with my one-on-one clients pretty often is more the personal side of getting ready for opening day. And I'm actually re-recording my Play Cafe Academy course right now, and I am going to add some of this personal stuff and some of the mindset shifts that you need to make sure you make before opening day so you can be the most successful owner possible on both the personal side and on the professional side. But I just wanted to share a little bit with you today because I know you may be watching this literally getting ready for opening day, so you can't necessarily wait for those updates. So again, I'm just going to pretend like we're on a one-on-one consult right now, and I'm just going to talk to you like a friend who, is getting ready for their opening day, something that I've done twice, and I just want to be real with you. So that's what this video is going to kind of be. So I'm going to give you some tips again on how to get ready for your opening day as a person and as a wife or a husband, a mother, a father, a friend, all of those things. Because I really care about your success, not just as an indoor playground or play cafe owner. I want you to be happy and fulfilled as a person because I don't want your business to become something that you resent or something that puts a strain on all of those relationships and other roles in your life. And the first tip I want to share is that in the pre-opening months, right, the 3-ish months prior to opening, now is the best time to start rallying your support system. So those people who are in your network, but who maybe aren't involved in the day-to-day pre-opening process. So they know that you're opening a business, but they might not be as intimately involved. People like your extended family or your parents or your siblings, neighbors, friends. Now is the time to start figuring out, okay, I'm going to be having to play all of these different roles simultaneously. It's going to be really busy. I'm going to need help with childcare, maybe rides, maybe attending activities with children, maybe meal prep, maybe cleaning, maybe helping out at the cafe. Now is the time to start figuring out, okay, where are the areas I'm anticipating needing some temporary help in, and who in my network would be best suited to lean on in that time of need. And now is the time to start reaching out because you want to have a list ready to go for if and when you end up needing help. Again, whether that's childcare, rides, getting your kids to and from school, extra last minute help at the cafe if somebody calls off, grocery delivery, anything like that. You want to have a list ready to go. And you want to make sure those people are aware that they're quote unquote on call and that they're willing and able to be leaned on and be those support people. So start having those conversations now and literally make a list of people who are willing and able to help. Because trust me, when you are in the middle of an issue or crisis or your child needs to be picked up from school, the last thing you want to do is be scrolling through, your virtual Rolodex on your phone and saying, gosh, I would hate to reach out to this person. I haven't talked to them in, however many months. This seems so rude. Have those conversations now and let them know, hey, this is going to be temporary and I am more than willing to return the favor when the season of my life slows down a little bit. So start rallying your support system now and make them fully aware of what's going on in your life, what you're going to need help with, and potentially when. The second tip that I want to give is, now is also the time to start figuring out how you can start delegating some personal tasks. And something that you're going to hear me say quite a bit throughout this video is that the thing to keep in mind here is that this is temporary. You are going to be extremely crazy busy and tired and exhausted when you are in the first 1 to 3 months of opening your business, especially. So when I talk about delegating personal tasks like having someone help with laundry, hiring a house cleaner, getting groceries delivered, things like that. A lot of people say, well, I don't need that. I don't want to do that. I don't have the extra money for that. Trust me, it is going to be an absolute godsend to you when you are in those first couple months. And just know that it doesn't have to be a permanent solution. It can just be a temporary solution to help get you through and help you maintain your sanity so that you can be a good spouse, so that you can be a good parent and friend and daughter or son, and also a good business leader. You want to make sure you have as many of your personal tasks delegated as possible, whether that means asking a friend or family member for support, asking your spouse to do a little heavy lifting temporarily, or outsourcing to a professional. Start saving money now if you need to do that, or carve out part of your startup cost budget for something like that. Or, if people are asking, I can't give my time or my physical presence, but I want to help, ask for takeout gift cards, ask for a house cleaner as a gift or something like that. But start figuring out really creative ways that you can make sure your household, your personal life, if you have another job that you're working or something like that, figure out how you can maintain all of those items, because your mind and your body is just going to be elsewhere for a couple months. And just remember that that is going to be temporary. But I was talking with someone just the other day and I was telling her, it's almost exactly like preparing to bring a new baby home. It's going to be all consuming for a very short amount of time. And then, like I said, if you are leaning on support people, let them know that, I'm not expecting all of this for no return. I'm more than happy to return the favor when, everything's settled down a little bit. So I'm not asking you to ask for free help or favors. Again, this is just a temporary phase, just like the newborn phase is or the postpartum phase is with a baby. So think of it kind of like that, because a brick and mortar business really is like having a new child in the world. It's all consuming. It is exhausting for the parent or the business owner. And trust me, you are going to need help. Even if you never end up calling any of your support system for help, you're going to be very glad that you have. All right, the third tip that I want to give is now is also the time to start asking for decision-making help as well. As I mentioned, you are going to be exhausted. If you're a parent, just think back to the newborn days. I gotta tell you, it is very similar. And what I mean by this is if you have to make very important decisions regarding your child's summer camps or doctor's appointments or any of those little tasks or little decisions that need to be made throughout the day, decision fatigue is so real as a business owner, especially in those first couple months. So again, you need to start having these conversations, whether it's with a business manager who can help make some of those important decisions, or with your spouse. Say, hey, for the next couple months, I really just need you to make all childcare decisions, or even at something as simple as choosing what to eat for dinner. Now is the time to, again, similar to rallying your support system, I want you to start figuring out, okay, when I simply cannot make another decision, who is capable and who is informed enough to help me make those both personal and business decisions. And one other tip I like to give, this is kind of an aside, but write everything down in those months, especially when it comes to your business. I know I mentioned this was going to be a personal video, but if you are very consumed with your personal life, if you are very consumed with your business opening, a lot of times the days are going to go by like that. And what you want to do is keep a literal notebook or a virtual notepad on your phone and write down everything that happened. If there was a customer complaint or piece of feedback, if there was a decision that had to be made, if there was an order that was placed, or if you're walking by and think, oh, I have to fix that, or gosh, a garbage can would go really well there, or, this shelf isn't really looking quite like I pictured. I have to get a new one. Write all of that stuff down, because you're going to, in the moment, you're going to think, oh, I'll remember this. I promise you, not only is decision fatigue real, but just information processing fatigue is so real. And you are going to just collapse into your bed at the end of the day and think, I have no idea what even happened. I know people came in to see me. I know I had all these party inquiries, but I don't know how to follow up with them. Your mind is going to be pulled in a different place, into a million different places. So write everything you can down, whether it's, something your child needs for school, or an important event coming up, or, something that they need to bring in. Write all of the personal stuff down and write all of the business stuff down. Your future self is going to absolutely thank you for that. So document everything. All right, the fourth tip that I wanted to give is, now is also the time to start having the tough conversations that you need to have with the people closest to you. So at the beginning of this video, I talked about your extended support network, but now I want you to have, really intimate one-on-one conversations with your spouse, your closest friends, your children, if they're old enough. Even if they're not old enough and you don't think they can understand, still have these conversations with them. Because as I keep reiterating, these couple months, you are going to be fully consumed with your business. And this time period, again, because I talk to a lot of owners in this space and I've been there twice myself, a lot of partners in this phase can start forming that resentment, not just towards the business, but to the business owner. So in this case, us. And that resentment can last a really long time and it can just seep into all areas of your personal and professional life and really set you up for failure from the beginning. So, what I don't want you to do is to wait to have these difficult conversations when it's already been a month and you've already been neglecting your household, spousal, parental duties, or friend duties, whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying that you're neglecting them. I think you should absolutely have the time and space to dedicate yourself fully to your business opening. What I'm saying is, I don't want you to set expectations and let these people who are closest to you know what's going to happen when it's too late, when they're already feeling that resentment, when there's already tension between you. That's not the time to do it. The time to have these conversations is now. And there are a couple keys to having these conversations. The first is you have to be really honest, right? If you are going to be at your business 24/7, or if you're planning on being there from, sun up to sundown, you need to set that expectation and do not sugarcoat it. And if there are any objections or if there are any scheduling conflicts that need to be worked out, again, now is the time to figure all of that stuff out. Not when your brain is being pulled in a million different directions and when you're going to be having this conversation out of a place of anger and frustration. You want to be able to have these conversations in a very calm, rational place. So be very honest about what your time constraints are going to need to be and what extra tasks these very close people to you are going to have to take on. And listen to their feedback, listen to any concerns that they may have, and again, just have a real back and forth conversation about it. The next thing I want you to keep in mind when you're having these conversations is to remember, your why. Why am I opening this business? Is it to spend more time with my family? Is it for more financial freedom? And keeping these end goals in mind kind of help us get us through this messy opening time. And let your partner or let your family know, like, yes, these couple months are going to be really hard, but here is the end goal. Let me paint the vision for you. Let me remind you of why we're doing this in the first place. And then the most important thing about having this conversation is to make sure they understand this is not going to be permanent. This is not going to be a forever change. Mommy or daddy isn't always going to be this all consumed by the business. That is not realistic. First of all, you're going to get extremely burned out, but it's really important to, again, let these people know, because if you're not having these conversations before you open, they might think, oh, this is her life now. All she cares about is the business. And again, this is an extreme, but if you are, a 5, 6, or a 7-year-old, and I'm, now putting myself in your child's shoes, your potential child's shoes, they might not understand that, oh, yes, mommy's opening a new business or daddy's opening a new business. I know that it'll die down after a couple months, right? Children don't have the perspective to understand that it's temporary. So set very clear expectations and also set a timeline. So say, okay, today is February 1st. Mommy or daddy is going to be extremely busy and it's going to feel really chaotic until March 1st, or maybe it's 2 months. But set those clear expectations and boundaries so that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and let them know, okay, the first month or the first 2 months are going to be this schedule. And then I'm going to take, X number of steps back and explain exactly how you're going to do that. Because, spoiler alert, your schedule is not going to change overnight unless your habits change, or if you start delegating, or start offloading more to your team. So let them know, okay, this is what I'm going to be working the first month, but in month 2 I'm going to give away 15 or 20 of those hours to a team member. I'm going to hire this person, or I plan to hire this person, and walk them through the entire process so that they see that light of the tunnel and so they have full understanding of what to expect. Because so often people get stuck in that, like, the 3 months after opening, and they're like, oh, my husband and I, or my wife and I are fighting all the time. There's so much resentment. I already want to give this business up. And so many indoor playground owners end up selling or closing within the first year. And most of it comes from the strain in their personal life that the business is bringing. So I think a lot of that can be prevented, again, if you really sit down and set those expectations and have those, really hard conversations well ahead of time. Because some of your partners, again, might not know that you only plan to be this involved temporarily. So you really have to be extremely explicit about what you expect. And I want you to really give it your hardest shot when it comes to hiring a team ahead of time, not expecting yourself to be there 24/7. Set boundaries from the beginning. Just because you are going to be more involved in the first couple of months doesn't mean you need to be, all hands on deck 24/7, up at 3 a.m., reading through comments or something like that. That's not what I'm saying. You can set clear boundaries, but just reality is that you are going to be very busy, very mentally tired, very physically tired in those first couple months. So again, I just wanted to be honest about the groundwork that you need to lay with the most important people in your life so that this business doesn't end up detracting from those relationships and ultimately ends up adding to them. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is I really want you to be prepared during this time to give yourself grace. If your business model doesn't quite work out the way you planned, if one revenue stream is taking off more than another, if people are having problems with your website and you need to redo it, if you have to completely rearrange your space, or if you have to change things that you didn't expect to, give yourself grace. Part of the reason that this time period is so busy is that there are going to be things you need to fix. There are going to be roadblocks that pop up that you did not anticipate. There are going to be customers who are just downright nasty. A copycat competitor might pop up within those first couple months. There are so many things that you need to be prepared for. But again, it all comes down to making sure that you have the emotional capacity to understand that none of those things are a direct reflection on you, on your planning process, or on your business. They're all just reality. They all are just things that happen to every business owner at the beginning. So if you're really going through it right now, or if you're about to go through it, just know you are not alone. Every business has growing pains. Every business has a ton of things that they need to change. And I have an entire module on that in my Play Cafe Academy course as well. How to pivot, how to figure out when things need to change, how to change them successfully, and all that good stuff. But again, it really comes down to making sure that you are emotionally equipped to actually make those changes and not take them personally. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was really helpful in terms of getting ready for opening day, especially as a person, as a business owner. And if you have any questions about this, or again, if you want the more logistic side, the business prep side, I have my Play Cafe Academy course linked in the video description. And again, you can reach out to me on Instagram if you want to chat, or if you have any other questions about getting ready for your opening day or anything else related to your indoor playground business. And as always, if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover on this channel, I am all ears. I want to create videos that are helpful to you and actually move your business forward. All right, have a great day, Playmakers. I will see you soon.